How's it going, everyone? Back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about our in-house metal detecting script. Previously, on the old servers, we used Lation's metal detecting, but just for the prison setting, it really wasn't going to work, so had to go with an in-house, custom-made for what we needed to do. We'll still end up using Relation script on the racing slash ERS simulator server because really enjoy the script. But so ours kind of has some of the similar features, but not everything because we don't really need a full leveling system and all the bells and whistles. So we have our metal detector here and a shovel. Inventory still being worked on, as you see. The decals box is broken, and then there's still icons missing on some of the items, but not worried about that. So we'll press 1, and you heard a little beep as I used it, and then we'll press X here and put it up. And you can turn these beeping sounds on and off with the command detector sounds, and then you got off to turn them off, of course on, and then volume, it's from 0 to 1, so there's decimal points, and depending on the decimal point you set it to, it's going to be either louder or quieter. But for the purpose of the video and to save your eardrums, I won't sit there and change the volume and max it out and lower it. We'll just keep it at where it's at right now, the 0.5 or the 0.05. So we'll pull it on out, and when you use it, it says you can press E to press scan the ground, but I'm not over dirt, sand, grass, so we'll have to move over here. So as long as you're on a surface that you can dig into, you're able to scan. And as you scan, there's a sound that plays. And I got really lucky because we found something immediately. So we'll dig this up real quick. The shovel is not lined up properly. But after it does that, you have a little mini game pop up, and I found one metal scrap. So then we'll walk away a little bit, and we'll scan. And it tells me to move northeast. So I'll move it a little bit. You don't have to move very far with the script. You just more or less got to kind of turn that direction and move towards that way. So move a little bit more north. Because you're going to run into issues. You're going to get up against a fence or a building, and you're not going to really be able to move that way too much. So you just got to kind of just finesse it around a little bit. And if you get too close to the edge, sometimes it sits there and says you're on the concrete when you're not. So you just kind of have to kind of just move around and just get it kind of right. But as long as you're kind of in the dirt and just moved a little bit, it'll fix itself. So keep moving more east. Like I said, that was really lucky the first time that I went to scan the ground that I found it. Because most of the times you have to do this. You're going to have to just move and scan around. Which, for demonstration purposes, there's not a whole lot of items in the list that you're able to get. But that will change when the server is active and the script's fully done. I just didn't want to put a whole lot into the item pool. Just enough to just kind of demonstrate and show it off and talk about the different little things with it. Man, this one's taking a little minute. Gave me that one lucky one, now it's just made me work for this one. There we go. So press R to dig again. And metal scrap. Gotta love it. Ah, there we go. Okay. Kind of what I was hoping for. I was hoping I'd get the chest. But we'll stop that. We'll put it up. Like I said, those sounds can be turned on and off. Because you don't really need the sounds They're more or less just there to make it more realistic feeling, but the notifications on the top will sit there and tell you what you need to do. And I'm pretty sure I had mine set up with auxlib, those notifications, so I'm pretty sure you can sit there and change where your notification box is at. But we'll open up the inventory here, and we'll go to the chest. So if you saw the video from a long time ago about the fishing script, then you'll know what these chests are, but we'll just go ahead and open them up here. So it's kind of like a CSGO opening up a chest mini game. And there's random materials in here to be able to get, so I just got 9-volt batteries. And currently it's set up for how the crafting and materials was for the old system. So a lot of these materials are going to be changed, because we're not going to need all this stuff for the purpose of what we're doing here. Metal detecting is not the only way you're going to get materials. Of course, you got the metal shop and the workshop to get things from there. We'll have packages that you can find around the map. I don't know if I can find a drone prop or something to have like a drone fly over and drop packages. I want to make it where like packages are thrown over the fence as well, so that when we get drugs and things like that, because you're not going to have planting pots in a meth lab and things like that. So nobody's going to go weed plants in prison. So got to work on the whole drug system there, and that system will also get the materials needed for crafting, for the escapes, and to make different prison tools and weapons and so forth. Still figuring out what we're going to do with this pit. Have a few ideas, but if you have any ideas, let us know either in the Discord or in the comments of this video, or even just message me on Discord and your suggestions, thoughts, and ideas for the prison. We'll have eventually probably basketball and some other outdoor activities there. So this was the old metal detecting script that we're still going to use, like I said, for the other server. It's not for the prison server, but I'll have a link down in the description below for this one. But mainly what it showed, so the custom props that we're going to be using, we're taking this script right here, and then I got to go into 3ds Max and change the skin of it to different colors. So currently working on a black and red one, so we'll have more variety options. And yeah, these are cosmetic, but they'll also give you better materials and more materials depending on the type of detector you have. So that way it's different detectors are going to cost more in commissary, so it's just more things to spend your money on to get a better return in all that. But I think that's going to wrap up today's video. Just kind of short, sweet, simple, kind of quick, not a whole lot to really show with this script, but I think you guys got the idea just from the little bit that I kind of was able to show here. Looking forward to what's to come next and everything else. I mean, server's starting to really come together. It's still just a whole lot of work. I didn't realize that the whole inventory and clothing as an item was going to be time consuming. Can't speak and can't really think fully. But getting all that done, figuring it all out. But like I said, leave a comment, like, subscribe, join the Discord, leave suggestions. Looking forward to hearing from you all and seeing you all on the server, and I'll catch you all in the next video.